All right, can we get this thing kicked off some energy? Come on.
Yes, come on!
The group meeting for our multi-level marketing.
Who's ready to make some money?
I sold nothing last month.
I love these knives.
Live from the Base Room Studio 3.0 in Seattle, Washington, this is the Podworms Spacecast. The Podworms are 7 lifelong friends who are even more entertaining than playing Kevin's alphabet game on the plane. Welcome to the Spacecast. Well, hey everybody, and welcome back to the Podworms Spacecast. So excited.
Yep.
We're happy you're here.
Yeah.
Hey. Bottom line, let's cut the bullshit.
We're happy to be here.
Hey, we just want to say, hey, Babette.
Let's cut the bullshit.
We are dangerously close to episode 100. It's over this little hill right in front of us, and we're all in this bus together, right? We're on this trip. We have been for the last 2. Has it been 2 years? Over 2 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, over
2 years. Who's driving?
Oh, well, I mean, we have to figure that part out. Well, who's even on the bus?
I actually picture it as like one of those Viking ships where everyone has an oar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to be the guy that plays a big drum, though. At the
Also, someone has to steer.
But everybody else has an oar.
Yeah, everyone has an oar.
Well, I'm playing a trumpet.
And we've got to.
Right. Everybody else has an oar.
We need to look out, too.
We also have an odd number of people, so that means we're just going in circles the whole time.
We're always turning a little bit left.
Yep.
Well, that's why we had to get rid of Peter for a few episodes. Now we're actually moving forward.
Yeah, that's besides the point, though.
Yeah, anyway.
But let me tell you who's on board the ship today. We have one half of the Deadly Brother duo. It's Mike McCoy.
Deadly Brother roll call.
And we have his deadly brother, Kevin McCoy.
End of the Deadly Brother roll call. I was gonna go but, and then I switched it last second because I didn't want to leave your roll call hanging. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's all right.
It's nice of you.
We have the bad boy of Seattle,
Appreciate
Phil
it.
Williams.
Let's stick with the pirate theme. Yar.
Wow. It's a pirate.
Wow. Yar.
We've got the DJ producer, all around great guy, Chase Golka.
Aye, Captain.
And our little buddy, Jim Charters.
I'm just happy to be here.
Who let that little kid on the ship?
Classic.
I am the
I stowed away.
hanging fruit, Andrew LeClaire. And we have a great show for you today. We were going to pick up where we left off and didn't have time for our last episode by talking about French fries. But it won't be spooky this episode because all the spook has already been taken care of. So that's in the rearview mirror now.
Spooked out.
Good,
They'll be starchy instead.
I wouldn't be able to handle any of that.
Thank you, Kevin.
Not so sure.
You don't like starchy potatoes?
No, I mean that's fine, but it just makes me think of very formal starched collar,
Yeah,
corporate
we're all
meetings.
going to be starchy this episode.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be drawing some inspiration from FM radio. And
Okay.
we're going to end the show with a Buzzfeed quiz.
Hey.
So stay tuned. Before we get to that, the other day, as I was going to get ready for work, I made a mistake that I've made many times before, and I expected a different outcome for some stupid reason, despite the fact I knew it would be the same as every other time it's happened. But I was getting a little bit cocky, where the first few weeks of a new job, maybe you guys are like this as well, but I'm waking up early, I'm putting on my best clothes, maybe I'm even ironing a shirt.
Whoa.
Right? I'm keeping everything clean in the face, shaving
Starchy.
it up, nice,
Very starchy.
combing the hair. And then as you get more used to the job, you're like, meh, I'll climb out of bed a little bit later. I'll kind of, put a hat on if my hair doesn't look very good. You just kind of get more comfortable. It's all good.
Yep.
But this morning, I was still running even a little bit late for my liking. And so I was trying to make some time up. And I was getting a little bit cocky because I had a few tasks I always save for the end of my routine. The way it works is I wake up, I take a shower, I get dressed. Then there's 3 things I do in the bathroom. I put on deodorant.
Wait, can we guess?
Can we get
Well, I'm giving you one, so go ahead and guess the other
Okay,
2.
2. We have 2. So
I definitely have the next one.
okay,
I've got this one nailed.
Okay.
jerk off.
Yep, that's 2.
Oh shit! Well, that was it.
And 3. No, there's another one.
You take a shit.
Correct.
Hey.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Wait, in the morning?
Right.
You jerk off every morning?
Right. I put on deodorant, I take a shit, and I jerk off every morning.
Wait, are you serious?
It's why I'm always like, I have to wake up early. Yeah. I mean,
Well, he's got to get going. You got to get all that energy
you don't
out.
do it at night or like?
well, yeah.
Well, you do it more in the morning and night,
Right.
And on the car ride home.
the bus ride home.
You guys don't?
No, we're gonna
Every
ask
morning,
him next,
first thing.
What about at lunch? Oh yeah.
I mean, you remember all the talk about this, how you have to go to the stall at work?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the urinal, it's like there's no coverage for that.
really sneaky.
Unless I have the foam finger.
They're like, wait. So that's you call it stage fright.
We call it trying not to masturbate in front of people at your job.
I mean, that's
Trying not to appear to be masturbating.
That's polite.
Yeah.
But I do two other things as well. So I guess I do 5 things in the morning.
Okay. Can you guess what the other 2 are?
Oh,
Yeah,
dude, I've got it. I've got it. I've got it.
Finger your butthole.
Correct. Well, that's while I'm jerking off. Technically, yes.
Combo
You
deal,
showered,
combo
so it's
deal.
clean.
I've showered, so it's all good.
Yeah.
No one wants to get
And
the
then
fifth?
rub it in your eyes.
Correct. Wait, when you mean it, what do you mean?
What don't I mean?
Exactly right. Correct. Okay, so I guess I technically do 7 things in the morning. So the other 2.
Can we guess the other 2?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh my god.
So I also brush my teeth and I take a pee.
Boring.
Okay.
But so I was running a little bit late, and so I decided to combine these 2 things because I've brushed my teeth
While peeing.
thousands of times in my life, and I've pissed countless times. Right? I'm pretty good at both of these things
Yeah.
at this point in my life, and so combining them together is a fucking no-brainer.
Oh, see, I can already see where you went wrong.
Well, how?
Because you tried to brush your teeth while peeing.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Kevin's following the story. And so I have my mechanical toothbrush in my mouth doing its thing. I got my mechanical dick pissing in the toilet.
Nice.
And what I didn't realize is that this mechanical toothbrush really whips up a foam in the mouth, right? Like it's going,
Yeah.
it's whirring around, brrr, doing something.
Oh, no, I know.
And so it's making this little foamy mess, and it spilled on my shirt while I'm taking a piss. And I'm like, oh, well, fuck me, right?
Yeah.
Now I got toothpaste on my damn shirt. That's no problem. I'll just take a little bit of water and wash it off. And so I got like a piece of toilet paper. I kind of like, wipe it on the little toothpaste on my shirt. And I'm like, oh, and I was like,
Wait, you got both hands working now? You got like, there's no dick holding. He's literally got a toothbrush in one hand, wiping his shirt with the other. He's
got
just
hands free.
free dick in
there's
it.
piss everywhere.
He's got hands free at that point. Yeah. You have to.
There's piss everywhere. But the problem then is that there's little fibers from the toilet paper on my shirt now too.
Yeah.
And so I'm getting some water and I'm kind of wiping off the toothpaste and the toilet paper mess. And I'm like, I just gotta go. And so it's all wet and it looks good. But then I get to work and I don't know if you guys have ever gotten toothpaste on your shirt before.
Yes.
The water doesn't work. And I deceived myself in that moment because I thought that I had outsmarted the toothpaste with the water because when it's wet, it doesn't look like it's there. When it dries, it looks like a cum stain on the middle. So it looks like during my morning routine, when I had my finger at my ass, jacking my dick, that I had shot my load directly onto my chest, or my partner did it the day before and I left the same shirt on. But either way, people are drawing these conclusions. I know it. And so I go to the bathroom several times that day and I'm kind of like, looking behind me. I go in the sink, I'm getting the water. I'm like kind of trying to wipe it again.
You're re-wetting the jizz stain?
Yeah, well, I'm trying to wipe it out because I'm convinced one of these times the water is going to get the cum stain off my shirt. And every single time I just walk out of the bathroom with a wet ass chest and then an hour later, it's dried up, and it's just worse. And so I don't know. It's just one of these things where, no matter how many times it's happened to me, I'm at work. I'm at my house at that point. I could just change my shirt, but instead, I'm just so convinced that a little bit of water is going to do it.
Like scrub it. You're like, I'm better than you.
Yeah. But it just Didn't work. I don't know.
So you decided the wet, crumbly mess was, you're like, yeah, that's better.
Well,
this wet, disgusting mess on my front, that's better than
It's a design choice.
That's such an interesting thing. Can you imagine, like, so you see someone in the morning, they've just got like a big old wet spot on their shirt, and then it's like 5 p.m., like right before you're leaving, and the wet spot is still there on their chest, and you're just like, what's going on with that guy?
That guy's like, he's really sweaty. I don't know.
really humid. Just doesn't evaporate. So last episode, we were going to talk about these French fries, and the reason being was because there was a conversation at work that sparked up where we were talking about Red Robin, the establishment, the food
Pretty starchy place.
establishment, and one of Red Robin's appeals, maybe the only appeal they have, is that they have bottomless fries.
Oh yeah, baby.
Which I think they're okay. They're fine, but they're bottomless steak fries. And I said I would be much more excited to go to Red Robin if the bottomless fries were almost any other kind of fry. Because steak fries...
No.
Hang on!
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Because steak fries are possibly the shittiest fry
Hang on!
that I know.
What's the best fry you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's your favorite fry?
Wow, what a great segue, Kevin, because I have a list of a bunch of different fries, and I would like us to discuss and figure out if there is a fry worse than a steak fry, or if there is a fry that we can all unanimously agree is the best fry out there.
So I will say that for me, every other fry is worse than a steak fry, except for one.
Do you want to hear the list first before you tell us?
Sure.
Okay. I have gathered, what is there, 2, 4, there's about 10 of them.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah. It's a lot of fries.
And so I'll just read through them. We don't have to go one by one.
Yeah.
But I do want to hear you guys voice your opinions on these different
Okay.
potato delicacies here. We have potato wedges, also known as JoJo's here in the Pacific Northwest.
Okay.
All right.
Those are pretty damn low.
Commonly found at a grocery store like a QFC
It's a,
Exclusively served at your high school cafeteria.
or a high school cafeteria.
it's a low effort fry. Not much work's put into cutting those things.
I will say they have a kind of consistency of a steak fry, but they're better seasoned.
Yes.
Because they have kind of like a curly fry seasoning on them often. They're like,
Yeah.
Those JoJo's from QFC, bro. I mean, come on.
I love JoJo's.
I think you guys have never had a JoJo other than QFC because there's so many other places that have like really good JoJo's. I can't name them.
two.
But I know that I've had JoJo's that are better than those ones for sure.
The big downfall of the JoJo is that terrible cold center. When the
Fatty ones.
the big fatty ones, because you can have some really good ones, but then especially if at QFC, you're paying by the weight, and
That's
it's like
true.
the worst
That's
ones
why they
are
make
heavier.
them so big.
I think
I don't know.
one consistent thing you'll probably pick up on my subjective opinion here is that I think the bigger the closer the French fry gets to a potato in size and structure, the worse it is. Because the worst fry, the worst JoJo is always the biggest, fattiest one. The best one are like the slender ones that are nice and crispy.
Yeah.
The big, starchy, colossal dick looking JoJo is always the worst. So potato wedges, sweet potato fries.
Also pretty bad.
I can have a good time with some sweet potato
you
fries.
I like
put
sweet
some-
potato fries.
Mix some hot sauce with some ketchup. Those things are the
Ooh,
best.
yeah, usually, yeah. There's some good sauces that go.
There's some pretty bad sweet potato
There's some good sauces that go pretty good.
Yeah, I remember sometimes I had some good sauce with them.
I've been known to have a good sauce from time to time.
Yeah, I get a little sassy, you know.
I feel like sweet potatoes just start out at a disadvantage because sweet potatoes are just inferior to like regular potatoes.
Yeah.
But I mean, Phil, let's think about this though. Can you make a dessert with a regular potato?
First of all, no. Second of all, irrelevant.
Like you can make a dessert with a sweet potato.
I think sweet potatoes have their place, and I almost think they are incomparable to regular potatoes because they're used so in the ways that sweet potato shines.
Yeah, it's like you mash a regular potato and then you mash a sweet potato. And then you use sweet potatoes for fries, and you also use potatoes for fries. They're so different. You're right, Mike.
Thanks, Chase.
Pretty confident JoJo's are FA and sweet potato fries are FB.
Yeah.
You know, to me, I think the biggest difference between a potato and a sweet potato is the fact that the sweet potato is a little bit sweeter. I don't know, that's just me, but I think that's the biggest difference to me.
Now,
Okay, fair point.
would it be good if we put in some sort of a ranking system here so we can kind of get these in order? Because
Yeah.
do you think 3 tiers is enough, or do you have to break it into 5?
Oh, wait.
3 tiers of fries.
Because you have like you have shit, good, okay, and good. That'd be 3 tiers. Or you have
Yeah.
like shit,
There should be 4.
mostly bad, okay, mostly good, and
We got.
I think
3.
Let's do.
I think
Three's
mostly
simpler.
bad and mostly good. Yeah, okay, yeah, 3 is good.
But we
3.
got to have an S tier though. We got to have the best.
okay.
We'll crown it grand champion.
Yeah.
yeah.
3
So-
tiers and a grand champion.
And also, can we have the worst one?
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah,
also-
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so three tiers. But we got the, but on top, there's a grand champion at the very worst. So it's 3 plus the top and the bottom.
categories.
Yeah.
So this episode, you may have noticed, has an Excel spreadsheet along with it. Go ahead and download that.
Download that now.
So you can follow along.
So let's retroactively go back. So potato wedges,
Yeah.
also known as JoJo's, in our 3-tiered system, where would those have to fall? I'm thinking just middle good.
I'm
like,
voting
okay.
shit.
If you're following along at home, we're in cell D7.
Make sure the formula's in there because
Those are definitely in like C tier.
I'll go middle. I think the thing with JoJo's is like, so I need to look at this differently. I need to do that, you guys, because I've been looking at it wrong.
okay.
Mike, you
At
need
least
to take
admit
a
it.
hard look at yourself.
Yeah.
I need to look at myself. I need to look at what we're talking about, because what we're talking about is when I say I want fries, what is that? Because when I want JoJo's, it's not always the same times of when I want fries. So when I want fries, JoJo's are not what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
That is not a fry to me. It's a JoJo.
Right.
So that is bottom tier of the fry category.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So no one's giving them a good.
I know how I was just arguing for how JoJo's are good and you can get really good JoJo's at places, but also I think that most of the time other ones beat JoJo's for sure. So that's why I also have to put them at
Yeah.
that same.
I mean, JoJo's are starch central, so let's put them on the bottom.
And then what about
Yeah.
sweet potato fries? I'm saying bad.
I'm saying they're keeping JoJo's company way down in the basement.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I go middle.
I would go middle
It's,
for
it's
the
a nice
sweet
break
potato.
sometimes from the potato grind.
The monotony.
You know? Yeah.
But you wouldn't want to have them all the time.
No.
What are all the other?
Be the
What are
best.
all the other options actually?
So-
before
I think we just stick with
well,
these two.
We don't need to rank
I
anymore.
think it's just JoJo's and sweet
All right.
potatoes.
There's shoestring.
okay.
Shoestring, I think, is a pretty strong
I'm
contender.
gonna go A tier or
Yeah.
good tier.
Yeah, because shoestring are my very favorite.
You don't get the
They're
fatty.
in the A,
You don't get the fatty
for sure.
fucking fries here. You get the nice. They're crisp. They have you can like grab a handful of them.
I also
they're-
like when the shoestring is like one gigantic shoestring and it's just like the rat's nest of fry that you get.
Oh, at the fair.
Exactly.
It's like a bread.
That's a game changer.
That is like, yeah, it's like really fattening food, but they also want to make you feel like a fat fuck. They're literally deep frying it and it's holding its shape in a brick. They're like, there is so much oil in this shit. You could build a goddamn house with this, and you're gonna put this all in your fat fucking mouth.
Wait, aren't those curly fries though?
They're different.
There's
They're
both.
different.
There
Yeah.
is difference.
They do
They're
sell
thinner,
different.
like onto a shoestring.
Well, a shoestring also has the highest like sauce to fry ratio.
Right, because the surface. Yeah.
And they're usually very well seasoned.
I also feel
A lot
like
of surface area.
shoestrings are amazing. I do feel like they can be fucked up pretty easily.
They can be burnt.
They can't be too soft either.
Yeah, like you can, like I've had, like if I'm gonna get shoestring, it's always a gamble. Like more probably than any other fry. That may be a blanket statement that I don't agree with, but I think I do. It's like 50-50. Like it's either these are gonna be amazing
there's
or they're
a-
just gonna be like
There's a
maybe
high
bad.
risk, high reward.
Yes, thank
for
you, Jim.
shoestring.
I think also maybe you're expecting more from shoestrings than you are another fry, so maybe you judge them more harshly.
Yeah.
I will say that of the Ore-Ida frozen food selection variety, that they are the most tasteless limp dick fries. They're horrible. So
Of the frozen variety.
yeah.
I agree.
Oh, if you're
Yeah.
making your own, you don't make your own shoestring.
They're horrible.
You're,
Do not
you're
try at home.
guaranteeing to make yourself sad.
You're gonna have to you have to get like a deep fryer or a house and like really like just learn, practice for years to get to that point.
Don't bake them. It's horrible. But generally, I'd say A tier. I agree.
I think they're
When
A tier,
done right,
yeah.
A tier.
They're
Yes.
A tier for sure.
Then we arrive at steak fries.
Okay.
The big, lumpy, lifeless. You got to cover them in Red Robin seasoning to make them even slightly tolerable, or dip them in a shitload of sauce. To be fair to Red Robin, they do have some good sauce.
Do you have a bias? I can't tell.
Yeah.
No, I am a fair and impartial judge.
Oh, okay.
Well, at least we started by outlining what your bias was.
Right.
I'm going to go straight up right down the middle in the B tier. Not super excited. Would never go out and order them, but they are a great. Beautiful English right there.
They are
great.
They do are great.
They do are great.
I agree. I know.
They are wide enough that you can really shovel that sauce in your mouth.
Yes.
I'm totally with you.
Absolutely. I'll go middle. It all depends on the sauce. That's why Red Robin steak fries, I'm totally down because they got a lot of good sauce.
And also, bonus feature of those fries, they happen to have zero bottom. Which means thank you.
Yes, also very true.
I don't know why that took me a long time. I was like, they have no bottom, and I'm like picturing a steak fry. I'm like, there has to be.
Every way you look at it, the fry is up.
I remember spending a lot of time in the high school / college era of going to Red Robin as a group of friends. It would always kind of like, as we're ordering drinks, say, can we get some fries to the table? Because, it's like this kind of implied thing. And you could tell on the nights where they're really hammered, like super busy.
Yeah.
And that they wouldn't show up for a while. And then they bring them and there's like 6 or 8 people around the table and they bring like a little basket that has like 5 fries in it. It's like, well, I know it's technically bottomless and I can keep ordering this, but can you bring more than 6?
Like even just like 2 baskets of 5 would be helpful.
I have never received 5 fries from Red Robin. That is amazing.
Well, I think he was exaggerating a little
But
bit.
it's been pretty
grim before.
Yeah,
Red Robin.
Yeah, you would always.
Every moment I've ever been in Red Robin has been grim.
Yeah.
There were Red Robins that I would avoid because I knew that they would skimpy on the fries, so we would go to a different one, and then also at that one, if you got the wrong waitress or whatever, then you'd also get fucked over.
Has anybody been to the Red Robin since they changed their name to Red Robin Gourmet Burgers and Fries?
Yes.
Yes.
Did they change did they give you more bottomless fries?
Actually, I think that when you order an entree, at least, they give you less fries, but also they don't seem as stingy about giving the free fry. Maybe it's because I'm not an asshole teenager anymore.
Yeah, maybe because we grew up and we're actually ordering a meal with the fries too.
Yeah,
And a
maybe it's
drink.
because I'm like getting a drink and they want to make me happy so they can get a bigger tip. But
we're not ordering water and
I don't know.
bottomless fries.
Hard to say.
I mean, they did really elevate the burger game though.
Oh, dude!
When they went gourmet,
They put the fries in a like a tin cup now.
Yeah, they put it. Yeah, they
It
do.
has
It's
no
like
bottom.
a ring.
oh yeah, and
It has no bottom.
It has no
It literally is bottomless.
that's true. And you're like, oh, if you don't want it in the little tin thing, you just lift that baby up and then
follow the bottom.
You know what really
Ooh,
pisses
baby.
me off? Pun dining equipment. Fuck that pun dining
It
equipment.
really is a pun dining, apparatus because it's bottomless. That's very.
They think
that's-
they're so clever.
Yeah.
So steak fries, we're good. Bottom tier.
No, not bottom tier.
Middle.
What? I would make a hard case for steak fries, but I think just to agree, I think they would be like in the low of my top region.
And
so I'll put them in the middle.
I was going to say that I think that, shoestring's been in the spotlight recently because, there's a lot of places where you'll go get a steak and that's with shoestring fries now. But back in the day, that would have been with steak fries. It's in the name. And
Technology just wasn't there to shoestring fries back then.
They've really improved it over the years, but they're just like a good mainstay.
Microchips keep getting smaller.
The fry keeps getting smaller.
Fry cutting equipment.
every 10 years.
More long fries. We're able to every year we're able to slice potatoes thinner and longer.
The first shoestring fry from like 1980 was like a centimeter long.
I can't believe people chewed those and carried those around.
Great.
Fill a whole room with fries. So I think personally, again, my bias might be showing. I think the back half of this list is actually far superior, more interesting.
Yeah.
We have the crinkle cut fry.
Okay.
Wait, is that the one that's like mishmashed? Like a
No. That's coming up. That's a
It
waffle
looks
fry.
like an accordion that you squinched it up.
Those ones. That's exactly what I think of when you go to the store and buy fries to heat up.
bag of
Yeah,
All right.
Man,
Yes.
if you've ever had some good crinkle cut fries. Those are so
Look,
good.
we've all been to the local eatery, The Ranch, which exclusively has crinkle cut fries.
and they were delicious.
They were delicious.
Crinkle Cut is very school cafeteria for me and very frozen food.
really quick.
I immediately think frozen food.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I go middle just because of the gamble. I could go lowest, but I know that they can be good because I've also been in the ranch. But they're a real fucking
I
gamble.
feel like it's got one pinky in the middle, but the rest of his body's hanging in the bottom tier.
I'd say I would go middle too, just because but can I add a little bit of science into this argument here?
Yeah.
No.
You see that? Okay. Well, all right. Let's move on. to this.
only emotions.
Because you see, the crinkle cut fry is made for sauces.
Here
It is
we go.
Made for dipping. And you know why? It's because if you took all those little crinkles and you took the surface area and you flattened it out, it would have more surface area than a regular shoestring fry that's the same length.
I feel like globby fucking ketchup's not going to make it. You're getting a
Meaning-
glob of it. It's not.
For the same amount of potato that
Yeah.
you would eat, I guarantee that you get more sauce with shoestring surface area.
Whoa.
Because even though crinkle cut, you fold it out, one versus one, but you could
that's
fit
the ratio.
4 shoestrings into a single crinkle cut.
That is a good point, but I'm talking. I guess that's a good point. I'm talking a 1-to-1 fry. You dip one fry.
Okay,
and the difference
so like
between
a
the two.
standard fry versus
Yeah,
a crinkle
yeah,
cut.
yeah,
then,
yeah, yeah.
then I agree.
Crinkle
Also, I
Cut is ribbed for your pleasure.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
the rib really helps grasp the sauce.
Yeah, lifts that sauce right up.
That sauce isn't going anywhere.
So
It's not dripping on your shirt.
yeah, yeah. Still middle though.
So Kevin brought this next one up.
Whoa.
What happened?
We just lost power here in the base room studio 3.0.
We're still recording though. Somehow.
Yeah, well, the power's on, just the bulb died.
light just went off.
Weird.
Oh yeah. I guess we're potting in the darkness.
Did we break this?
Burn the light bulb out.
Did we break the
mid-pod?
circuit?
All right.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep going in the dark. This is kind of fun.
Should have done it for last podcast.
Oh, wow. We have light from our phone.
There we go.
This is technology.
Nice.
This is dope.
This feels like camping or something.
we should have done this for the last episode. It would have been more
Oh,
spooky.
perfect.
Kinda dark.
Is it?
No, that would look good, Mike.
Would it balance?
We're putting a beer bottle on the light now.
that's
Look
nice.
at this.
nice. Okay, that's dope.
Nice.
That's really nice.
That's dope.
That is nice.
There's a beer bottle on Kevin's phone now
Yeah.
on its light. So
And it looks like we're in like a fancy little restaurant. Also, look at the ceiling, guys. It looks like a fucking eyeball.
It looks really
my
great.
God.
God's
I really
looking
like
at
that.
us.
I really like that a lot.
oh, we'll put this on
Take
social
a photo.
media.
Yeah,
It's
you got to
beautiful.
show this to the fans.
It's beautiful. Oh,
Put this on the
It's
stage.
really beautiful. It's really great.
Get a video.
Oh,
No way.
the flash on.
oh my god.
You like to have fun here at the Podworms.
We like to have fun here.
Oh,
What were we talking about?
Okay, so Kevin had brought this one up, the waffle fry. So this one looks like a little tic-tac-toe board, but it's a French fry.
Yeah.
I think these are a delight because they're such a surprise. You don't get them very often, but when you do, it's a nice little texture. It's a lot of fun. I'm a big fan of the waffle fry personally.
It has to be good to get you to break your mold of potato judging, right? Because the bigger, thicker it is, the less you like it. However, the waffle fry is a big, thick fry.
But the individual kind of strands within it, I think, are fairly thin.
I'm gonna say this again. The surface area of fry. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, you guys.
No more science.
Here's the thing. I think all these fries, as we rank them, they all have one thing in common, and that is the surface area, the crispy skin is most versus the amount of potato that's on the inside on the higher ranked fries.
Okay.
JoJo's way more potato, and then yeah, they might be bigger, but I guess if you like the inside is like thicker, and steak fries also the same. Shoestring fries though, there's a lot more fried crispiness versus the amount of potato that's inside. Waffle fries are the same thing. It's actually like if you were to spread all that crispiness out, lots of surface area right there.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Carl Sagan.
I'm going against the grain on this one. I'm going waffle fries in shit tier.
Whoa.
The most common time you get waffle fries, Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
You can all agree on that.
Yeah.
right.
I have to agree.
I have
Yeah.
The waffle fries that you get. Good. I'm glad that we're all in agreement. The waffle fries that you get are often too large to dip in the dipping cup.
Yeah.
That's too big.
That's a big
true.
problem. It's a
It's
big
not
problem.
good. And
Chick-fil-A
but
needs to sort
in
that out.
theory, you should have a crisp center, a crisp lattice in the middle, but it never works out. They're always soggy.
I would think the first problem is the problem of the sauce, not the fry.
I don't know.
You know,
No, because dipping sauce, we've all kind of agreed what is inappropriate. Like you're not dipping in like a freaking salad bowl.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right. That's fair.
Ramekin is designed for dippage.
That's true.
Okay. I still
I mean,
think
it
top
depends. I've had some really good waffle fries though. What about Boomer's fries? You know Boomer's. Those are
Oh,
good.
yes. Boomers is a classic, but
Yeah,
also
delicious.
not my favorite. A little sog.
Oh, all right.
A little too sog for me.
You think they would have solved the sogginess problem because, like, a waffle fry is just a JoJo with like air in the middle,
Oh no, I think that the science is there. The theory is correct. It's just in practice, it never works out.
Okay, here's one out of left field. The smiley face fry.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, those things those definitely remind me of school.
I have no idea what
You've
this is.
never had the smiley face fry.
This is not
terrible.
ringing any bells.
Like the imprint.
It's like a little medallion that they've just like punched 2 holes in. And you're like, yeah, it's funny.
Oh, yeah.
This is
It's more like a tater tot. If you
this
ask
for me is the lowest of the
Yeah,
low,
for real.
the worst fry that there is.
Extremely bad.
Easily.
I can't think of one good thing to say about it.
I will say they're very kind of doughy. They're not.
Oh my god, that looks exactly like a smiley face.
Yeah,
That's
what
beautiful.
I've never seen that.
We had
I've
them at
never
school.
seen that.
That's the only.
It looks to me like having never seen it or even knowing what size that is. It looks like SpaghettiOs.
It's larger than SpaghettiO.
Terrible
Larger than
cereal
spaghetti.
that's coming to a store near you.
I would say it's similar in size to a waffle fry, but just rounded and with a smiley face.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
That makes me sad.
Yeah, I'm gonna give
frowny faces.
They
Yeah,
are
you should try the frowny phrases though.
they are better. They are fun to eat because you can torture them and make little scenarios in your head, but they taste like shit.
Oh yeah, like everybody.
You
loves-
can't hurt real people with smiling faces.
Right.
No,
They're going my bottom tier, unfortunately. They are
Yeah.
fun though.
though
Lo-
we're not
lowest
in
tier.
agreement.
Low
I
of the
think
low
we
for
have
me.
to agree that
I think that's got to. Well, I don't want to jump to conclusions.
Yeah, I don't know what else is coming up next, but
Well,
that is
so we
that
ha-
one's going pretty low.
those are dog shit.
to make sure this list has some true credibility, we have to address just the standard fry.
okay.
So what is that? Like the McDonald's fry?
I actually think can I say what I think the standard fry is? I think the standard fry is like the old fashioned cut fry, like Wendy's, or
Yeah.
you go to like a brew
I was thinking
pub.
of that as well.
and
Yeah.
it's like a shoestring, but like a little bit bigger, and you can sometimes see a little bit of the potato skin on
Yeah,
the ends.
skins are on the ends.
If it's
yeah.
more like a gourmet place,
Yeah,
Oh, like
exactly.
a potato skin, like a Dick's fry.
Yeah, like
I
I
think-
think kind of like a Dick's fry, but like a
a
little,
little bit
bigger.
bigger.
there's a
little bit
very
bigger.
wide range here. I think a McDonald's fry, a Wendy's fry, a gourmet pub fry, they're all kind of in that standard fry territory.
Yeah.
But that also it feels like it spreads it out so much because those are very different thicknesses.
I think so too, but a lot of the time, those fries, I feel like they really, really fry them. They like almost like double fry them, especially if you go to like a nicer place, and they're always perfectly crispy on the outside,
Yeah.
and they always kind of have like a thicker skin. The crispy part is like
Yeah.
thicker.
You know what blew my mind recently? Burger King fries.
Oh yeah.
Fries are not bad.
They are really dang good.
They're not bad.
Remember when Burger King had the chicken fries?
they still
I feel like they still do. Yeah.
I've tried those. Those are
Hell yeah.
I think the thing with the standard fry is that they're not trying to win you over with any gimmicky little tricks like smiley face.
Yeah.
They're working on the texture, they're working on the flavor.
Yeah.
I think generally I'm pretty happy to have a standard fry.
The standard fry worked in 1900 and it works today.
Yeah.
I think it's a good tier.
Hey.
I think
Yeah.
it's
A tier.
definitely A tier for
A
sure.
for sure.
We have 2 left. Curly fry.
yes,
A tier.
absolutely
Absolute
top
A
tier.
tier.
I've never
Also
had
A-
a bad curly fry.
Also A tier, yeah, for sure.
Never had a bad
I'm never
curly
going to
fry.
turn down.
I've
curly
gone to
fries.
Arby's just to buy curly fries.
Oh, dude, absolutely. I've done.
I don't even like Arby's.
yeah, there's nothing else
There's
you need
nothing
to get.
to eat
the
there.
curly fries, great. Jack in the Box curly fries, really good.
I will say that the curly fries at both of those establishments that you've talked about are very good. However,
Uh-oh.
the ones you get out of the bag or Ida are worse than Crinkle Cut or Ida.
I can see that.
Any homemade fries are just tough.
Because it's like the curly fries get unbelievably soggy compared to anything else.
Now, here's what I'll say about the curly fry. I love them. I love the ones at Jack in the Box.
Yep.
But the one thing, the flavor is great, but they always leave me feeling unsatisfied because they take up a weird amount of like volume in the container. And so there's been times where I'll even get like the large fry and there's like just 2 really fucking fatty curly fries in there just taking up all the surface area. And I'm like, I got like 2 fries in this whole goddamn thing. Whereas with like a regular fry, you can cram the shit out of them in there.
I think we might need to go a level deeper to talk about, there's a lot of different curly fries. You've got like the crescent moon, which is my favorite.
Yep.
But then you've also got like the spring.
Yeah.
The spring's not my favorite. It's too
I
long
love
and
the spring.
soggy.
Too much stuff.
The spring is so fun.
Talking about like Arby's or Jack in the Box, they have very similar curly fries. They might mainly have what you're the crescent moon. But I always enjoy when I find that really long string. Feels like it feels like it's true. It feels like a fucking toy in the video.
It's like a slinky. You're like going
You're like pulling it out. You're like, no wait, no, it keeps going.
It's like a hella long booger.
I do love curly fries.
It's like that.
I like curly fries.
Long ass booger. You're like, what? It's still running. No way.
Yeah, it's really exciting. I think I really like curly fries. I just don't know if they could be my like daily driver. You know what I mean? I don't know if I could eat curly fries every time I go to eat fries, but I could eat like regular, like old fashioned cut fries, which I'm going to refer to them as from now on. those are my top ones. So I feel like I love curly fries, but I just couldn't. I don't know, man. I couldn't do that over and over again. They're like almost like too seasoned or something.
But are we all in agreement they're on the good tier?
Yeah.
I think they're so much on the good tier that they don't even need sauce.
Whoa.
Most other fries depend on
Yes.
sauce.
Pretty good point.
I mean, I love them with some sauce.
I think you get even better.
It's pretty good point.
Come on.
So
I'm only human, okay?
the last one here, I would say, is a Pacific Northwest favorite, the garlic fry.
Oh, I didn't know garlic fries was going to be on here.
I mean, this one's a little bit. This one, I will admit,
This is more of an honorable mention.
there's kind of like an asterisk next to this one because there is an accoutrement here.
Right. We didn't include poutine. We didn't put chili cheese fries on
Yeah,
here.
well, you
That's a
didn't
good
make the
point.
list, Kevin.
that's true.
I think garlic fries, I did not really get initially, and I thought they kind of stunk when I was a kid. But now as an adult, I'm all in.
Oh,
You're on
I'm
board.
all in. Yeah.
To be fair, though, where can you order garlic fries other than the baseball stadium?
Ivers?
There's a fair
places.
amount of
I don't actually
restaurants
know.
you can
I think-
buy them from too. Ivers is one of them. Yeah.
Is it? Yeah, I think so.
Somebody needs
stadium's
to
a big
make an
one.
app where I can find garlic
Garlic
fries
fry,
any time of
GPS.
night.
I think it's Google.
Garlic finder.
There's a French restaurant in
Garlic frinder.
called Garamond.
Yes, there it is.
Their fries are fucking good.
But probably get them at Garlic Jim's.
These are typically a standard fry.
I don't think you can.
Garlic Jim's, the pizza place. No, I don't think that's right.
I don't think you can, Jim.
I got one large garlic fries pizza here.
The quiet suggestion. You could probably get them at Garlic Jim's.
Probably.
Fucking pizza place. No, you can't.
Oh yeah, right. Now they're mainly just standard fries with just garlic on top, right? Is that it?
Yeah.
I can't remember if there's anything else.
Pretty
on.
much.
It's pretty much
Is it like cilantro or something? Or am I imagining
Maybe
this?
it's probably, if you see any sort of green on there, it's probably parsley.
Oh yeah, I think it might be parsley. I don't remember, but yeah, I think they're pretty good. I would say good tier.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely good
Good.
tier. But, you know.
So can we come up with a?
I want to put a little nuance in it
Yeah.
because I like garlic fries always start off great. By the end of garlic fries, I'm kind of like, oh, I've had too many of these.
That's a really good point, actually.
Yeah.
Every other fry I will eat happily to the end. Garlic fries, I'm kind of like by the end of it, it's the candy corn of like French fries to me, where you're just like,
much
the
of-
first one tastes amazing, and the second one you're like, I immediately regret everything I just did.
Well, they get more garlicky the more fries you eat. You
Yeah.
lose a lot of garlic, and by the end, your fries are like literally coated in garlic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe they're like mid to good.
Too much of a good thing.
Is there a
sometimes,
definitive
huh?
best and worst in this list?
There's a definitive worst.
Which you think is
The
Smiley
smiley
face.
face.
Smiley
Not even
face.
close.
Yeah, no question.
the garbage cafeteria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those things.
Diarrhea food. Yeah. Smiley face, the worst. But is there a definitive best? I mean, I think curly fry got a lot of reception. The shoestring was also
Yeah, in the running.
yeah.
Definitive best has got to be the old fashioned cut.
I
for
think
me.
the old
You think
fashioned
just
cut
just
is
standard?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my god, it's so good.
Absolutely.
It's the most popular and will always be.
It's the most consistent.
Yeah, and
As well, because
Yeah.
I feel like everything else is kind of a gamble. You can get shoestring and you can get it at fucking some place, and that's terrible.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say curly.
Yeah, I was gonna say curly too.
I'm a curly boy.
Wow.
Okay.
Are we gonna have to
Curly
take a ballot
boys
here?
over here.
Curly boys in the house.
Well, maybe our audience should weigh in and let us know.
Yeah.
POSpacecast.com. Write in and let us know what's your top fry.
Yeah.
So something interesting, we were at Emily's friend's place. We were hanging out with them playing board games, and we got talking about the radio, specifically the morning drive time radio, because I drive to the park and ride and then I get on the bus. And so I only have about an 8-minute drive. And most mornings I'm not quite, I don't care enough to load up the music or a podcast at that point. And so I'll just kind of flip through stations, whatever's on the radio. Do you guys ever listen to morning drive time radio?
I have before.
No,
Not
I used
so
to
much
live
anymore.
by it.
I haven't listened to the radio since high school.
Phil used to live and die.
That's what I thought he said.
Everyone
Drive-time
says
radio.
no. It feels like I used to live.
I used to get in a truck every morning and sit in traffic for 2 hours.
So there's a variety of different morning drive time shows, and there's a host of them that follow the same kind of morning zoo format, which is characterized just by like high energy, lots of kind of like hype man kind of feeling vibe. Like there's a local show here where there's one guy who just laughs at literally everything that's said.
Yeah.
A lot of staged pranks.
Right. The stage. And so this is exactly where I'm going, is that we were talking and I said, yeah, sometimes I'm listening to the drive time radio in the morning and I just can't get over these fucking fake ass staged calls that they do. And Emily's friends, it was like I told them that Santa was not real. They thought that these calls that they do on this drive time radio show are real. I said, are you guys kidding me? The acting is worse than porn. It's literally so unbelievable. So just to give you some context here, there's a few of these kind of syndicated shows because almost every radio station in the country is owned by iHeart or Clear Channel. And so to fill time in the morning, they basically just do kind of these semi-scripted bits to kind of get people talking or whatever. And they have a few of them that are recurring. There's two that I can think of that are really fairly popular. One of them is called Second Date Update.
I was just going to say, that's the worst one.
That one is really bad. The premise of that one is that, and I'll phrase this as if they're real, but this is all fake bullshit. So what happens is someone calls in and they say, I went on a date with somebody and they didn't call me back. And I want you guys to call and find out for me. And every single time they suppose that something happened where they'll say like, I actually accidentally ripped I had a little fart at the restaurant and I think that like they just don't want to hang out with me anymore. And that what always happens, the formula is that they have this dialogue with the person and they get that information. They say, okay, we'll give them a call for you. Yeah. And then they call and number one, they're calling at fucking 6:30 a.m. in the morning. And then the person always picks up and they're always willing to talk to the host. Yep. Now, first of all, this might be the most unbelievable thing is that you see a number you don't recognize on your phone and you fucking picked it up.
Yeah, for real.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. That's the first thing that's like,
And it's early ass in the morning.
it's unfucking believable. And so then they pick up and they're like, hey, this is Joe from the Morning Zoo radio show. Like, oh, hey, what's up? And they talk and they say, yeah, so what's up with like you and Katie? Like you said that she's like, you went on a date, like everything was good. And the formula is always that they say, oh, yeah, it was pretty good. And then they say that the reason they didn't go back on a date with them is something completely out of left field every single time. Where it's like, yeah, everything was going well, but then I got in the car and there was a rotting corpse in the trunk. Where the person thinks, oh, I farted, and it was something so completely.
They always rip it around on the first caller, like, dude, you didn't tell us you were fucking a corpse in your car.
Right. And I have never ever heard a single one where they call them and say, yeah, she farted in the restaurant. It was really embarrassing. And they're like, oh, that's exactly what she thought. It never goes that way.
It's just never. It's never going to be like the newlywed game where somebody's like, well, they give the right answer.
Yeah. But the acting is so bad. I can't even give you the vibe of how bad the acting is.
Can I? see into the future, the next
Yeah.
bit? Is it the one where the person calls in and they're like, "Hey man, I love your show, but I don't want to go to work today. My boss is an asshole." And they're like, "Don't worry, dude. We'll call your boss for you." And then they always call the boss. And they've got the boss there, and he's like, "Oh, John's just going to get his ass kicked when he comes back to work, that son of a bitch." And it's just all this fake drama. And then they rile up the boss, and then they have like the fake reveal to the guy where he's like, "No, this is just Joe and so in the morning." It's not, I'm not actually like, because he's always what? He's sorry, I buried the lead there.
He does like a
He usually
prank call?
does a character like, "Oh, this is so and so's doctor. I'm calling in, and he's got like super AIDS, can't come in." And the boss gets upset, and then they do the reveal.
Yeah, it's all prank.
Prank.
Johnson's getting a raise now. So that's another one. The one I was thinking of is called War of the Roses.
Oh yeah.
And this
Yeah.
one is even more absurd than Second Date Update. And the premise of this one is that the person suspects that their partner is cheating on them. And the best way for them to find out is to have this third party, the radio station, call the partner, pretend that they're giving away a free bouquet of roses, and that whoever, they see if the person gives them to somebody else instead of the partner. And wouldn't you know it, they never send the roses to their actual partner. They always catch them cheating.
Never ever.
And this is just completely unbelievable. And so so when we're sitting down at this board game night and I'm talking about this and I'm saying, "No, this is really fake. It's so obviously fake." And I picked up I just went on their website and played the first War of the Roses. And within the first 3 minutes, the character of the person on the phone who's calling into them is acting very distracted, where they're like, "Hey, Katie, you're on with Joe and Schmo in the morning," and she goes, "Huh? What? Oh, sorry, I was distracted." Like, "Okay, yeah, no problem. We got on the radio." "Oh, right, yeah." It's like, "Oh, is there something wrong there, Katie?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm just writing down in my diary." And it's like, it is the most obvious fake bullshit. But so I went through the pain of actually listening to one of these episodes before we recorded today, just because I want to see if they're all. I just picked the first one.
Is War of the Roses the Ryan Seacrest one?
They all do it, so
Oh, okay.
probably.
All right.
But I just want to kind of read through the gist of one of these I randomly listened to. It's unbelievable that people even listen to this and actually think it's real. And I had to break it to them. And now
Unlike the Podworm space gas, everything is real.
Super real.
we actually don't even know each other. We all work for iHeartRadio.
We all actually hate shoestring fries.
We're just funded
We got
by
paid by Jack in the
by
Box.
big shoestring.
There's a very real possibility that somebody listening to this show right now is just now having a click that these things are fake. But,
God, I hope
so let me give you the gist
boy.
of this one. So I paraphrase it, didn't directly transcribe, but basically this is a War of the Roses call. And so we have Sydney and her partner Mark. And the gist here is that she says she's been with Mark for 3 years. They're pretty serious. They started talking about getting engaged, and she never suspected anything about him before. A couple weeks ago, he went on a bachelor weekend and he never unpacked his stuff, and he was just sitting there in the kind of breezeway room. She decided to finally unpack his clothes for him, and she finds a folded up note that reads, and I quote, "To Ginger, I love you so much. You're perfect. This weekend was amazing." So this seems like a pretty incriminating note.
Yeah, right?
Also, if you have incriminating notes, unpack your own shit.
And
Don't
why
leave
would
it
you
in the breezeway.
why would you have such a bizarre short note written down?
In your stuff. Well,
Also,
Very weird.
isn't that note for the person that he was on the weekend with? Why would he still have the note?
Why would you physically
Why
write
would
it
he still
down?
have it with him?
Writes down
He comes
notes.
back, he's like, "Oh shit, I forgot to give it to her."
No, it was a rough draft. He was going to send it in the mail.
Oh, I thought he was a ginger.
Ginger gave it.
He was writing it to himself.
No, I thought some girl wrote it to him.
No, his name's Mark.
like his pet name was Ginger.
But his name could be Mark, but he could be a ginger.
Okay, to clarify, we're supposing this is for another female.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah, yeah.
Ginger was just very
That's
freaked
even
out.
dumber.
Yeah, exactly.
And so then the host kind of digs into this a little bit and asks why the note would be in the bag or even exist, because they're kind of cluing in the same thing we are. Why the fuck would anybody do this? But Sydney, the caller, just does not know. And so they say, okay, well, you know what? We'll do our thing. We're going to call.
No, she doesn't have any guesses.
No, just doesn't know.
no clue at all.
And by the way, her disposition this whole time, she's not nervous. She's more or less just kind of excited. She's like, yeah, I don't know. She's been with the person for 3 years, doesn't fucking.
Could
Anyway.
be a fun little secret about
And,
my.
instead of, and I think most rational people at this point would ask, why wouldn't you just talk to your partner about the note? Why would you go through a radio show to?
It's the same reason. It's the same reason why all those people post to relationship. What is it? Relationship helper, relationship questions on Reddit. It's the exact same reason why.
Yeah.
Why would you go all to the bother of writing out 4 or 5 paragraphs of shit?
I think I know why.
Because they're fake.
This radio show has a great track record.
Yeah.
You go to the experts.
Yeah, it always works.
That's true.
It always works.
So they call him, and he picks up, and he is very groggy. Like he's not really with it. And so they call up and say, hey, we have this like Instagram page, and you got tagged in this contest, and you won a $100 bouquet of roses. And instead of responding like, oh, cool, he's like, take me off your calling list. And like, no, wait, Mark, no. This is a contest. You won these roses. And he's like, oh, there's always a catch to these things. I got like sign up for something or go see a condo down in Florida or something. Like, no, Mark, this is just an Instagram contest. And then just him being reassured a few times, like, yeah, okay.
Like instant. We are
How would they get your
Instagram.
number from Instagram?
Yeah. Also, why is Instagram calling you?
How would he? How like? somehow
this is Instagram.
I won an Instagram contest, and they know my phone number.
Based off me being tagged in something.
And so he says, okay. And he decides he wants to send the roses to Sydney, who is actually his like girlfriend. And he says, hey, babe, hope you like these flowers. I love you very much, and all this shit. And then the other host, so the person on the phone was a woman, and then the other host is a man. He pops in and says, oh, there's no Ginger you want to send these roses to? Who's this? Or he says, I'm not Sydney. Or he says, who are you? And then he says, well, I'm not Sydney, but she's on the other line. And then this is where they all reveal like, oh, this is a big reveal. Like, oh, you're on the
Wait,
radio.
they didn't even catch him in anything, and
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like,
then they reveal.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so,
Okay.
and so-
Gotcha.
right. So it's very anticlimactic at this point because he's sending them to Sydney. And then she comes on the line and she's like, hi, Mark. And he goes, oh shit. And they leave him out. And then Mark's trying to explain, like, they're like, okay, so what was the note then that we found in the bag?
Oh my
And he says, Sydney, this is gonna be a little bit awkward, but are we still on the radio still? and so he's like, yeah, we're still on the fucking radio. Like, how a telephone works, right? But he decides like, okay, it doesn't matter. I have to save my relationship on this phone call. I'm not calling you back. We're selling this right now, even though it's awkward in front of everybody in the Seattle area. No problem. He says, okay, I need you to go upstairs in the closet, babe. Okay. Are you doing this? She's like, yeah, Mark, I'm doing it. Okay. There's a sleeping bag in the right-hand side of the closet. Do you see it? Yeah, Mark, I see it. Okay, Mark. Okay. Here's what you got to do. Lift the sleeping bag and there's Ginger. And she's like, oh my God, Mark, it's a sex doll. And then
What?
he's like, it goes with the note. And then she's like, oh my God, is this a blow up doll? And he says, it's for Steve's birthday next week. I just didn't want to put it in my car, obviously. And then Sydney's like, oh, that's so gross, Mark. And starts laughing. So I don't know what the premise is. He's giving a blow up doll to his friend for his birthday.
Why
It's
did
all,
he pre-blow
That he
it up?
wrote a love letter to.
I don't know.
Wait, he wrote a love letter to a sex doll he's giving his friend.
Yeah.
Is the premise of this
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Sounds like somebody came up with this in like 20 minutes.
But the
before
whole-
they had to
Did
go
they
on
write the
air.
Transformer movies?
As I'm listening to it, the whole premise is so convoluted. The acting is so bad. The tone of the whole thing is so confusing because she's catching her partner of 3 years, and the whole thing gets like she finds a sex doll, and then she's like, oh, Mark, you're so gross, and that's just where it ends.
What?
And there's people who think this is real, and I had to break it to these people at a party.
Oh my
that's
God,
awful.
dude.
This is very not real.
It's so crazy. How could it be fake?
But there was a sex doll.
You can't write this stuff.
But that's the perfect example of how there's always an explanation that's so off the deep end where it's like, oh wait, he's not cheating. There's a blow up doll he's going to give his friend Steve.
It's Mark.
Oh, Mark.
You're so gross. Babe, it's nothing weird. I just wrote a love letter to a sex doll that I'm giving my friend. It's nothing creepy.
It's nothing
Just a
weird.
run-of-the-mill love letter to a friend's sex doll that I'm giving him.
That happens all the time.
Just a couple bros exchanging sex dolls.
That being said, if you suspect your partner's cheating, please let us know, and
Yeah.
we'll be happy
Call-
to.
We will call them.
We'll be happy to investigate. So I want to end this episode here with a little BuzzFeed quiz. Now, we all love BuzzFeed here on the show. It's a fun little place to find all your listicles and all your whimsical, funny news and pop culture. Here's and they're known for making these quizzes that really give you some deep insight into the human psyche and maybe let you know a little bit more about yourself here. This one is, are these weird food habits actually weird, or do you do them too? And so it's a list of these things that people, I guess, have submitted on Twitter of like weird things they do with food. And
Are those two things like mutually exclusive?
It's
like it being a weird thing and then you also doing it. Okay,
because I've
I'm just
seen them, I'm gonna argue that they're not mutually exclusive.
Yeah. Well, okay.
So, but I am kind of curious if any of you weird psychopaths in this room actually do any of this weird
Okay.
shit. I'm convinced this is all fake as well. But so the first one here they have a cup of ice water and they have a blow pop and they're sticking the blow pop in the ice water.
What?
Do you guys do that?
I don't even
No,
What's,
I mean the closest.
what's a blow pop?
So it's like it's like a
Wait, Kevin doesn't know what a blow
A
pop is.
lollipop.
a lollipop with like bubble gum in the middle.
Oh, okay, sure.
Okay.
They're putting in ice water.
In ice water.
What for?
Oh, sure.
There's no reason. I don't know.
To make it cold, I guess. Probably.
I mean, the only like candy to water thing I've done is like put Jolly Ranchers in water before to make it sweet and change color and stuff.
Well, I hate hot blow pops.
yeah, no one likes a hot blow pop.
Well,
So colder, that's fine.
you're not going to believe this, but 82% of people said they don't do it. That was 42,000 votes.
Okay.
There's 18% of crazy psychopaths out there. So about 9,000 people that do this.
weird.
Isn't that
According
just
to
how they make
BuzzFeed.
LaCroix?
Zing.
The second one is peeling the skin off your grapes.
Way too much work.
Yeah,
no.
what
That's,
in
that's,
the
That's a lot of
that's
work.
psychopath territory for
yeah,
sure.
for real.
If you have nothing else to do on a plane, maybe.
This one was a little bit closer, actually. So this was 68-32 in favor of not peeling the skin off your grape. But
Wait,
more
the
people-
ratio is even less.
yeah. 16,000 people out there on BuzzFeed.
Why are they doing that?
Wow.
Well, you also have to think that these are BuzzFeed readers.
Yeah, they're probably like, I do that.
This is the lowest IQ dredges of the
yeah, for real.
Well, and you're also assuming people are being honest about this,
Right.
Rather than trying to get the funniest answer possible.
That's so funny.
I wonder what peeling the skin on your grapes would give me.
I'm fuck up.
I'm weird
Kevin.
and unique.
I don't know why I used the name Kevin because you're right there, but you know.
You're trying to think of a random name and you pick the last person who talked.
Looks at you.
I guarantee the people who submit this shit wear pun costumes.
Probably.
Yeah,
Oh,
for sure.
definitely.
They're reading
But they're
BuzzFeed.
really good ones.
One and the same.
They probably read a list of
And really
pun
sexy.
costume BuzzFeed articles.
Yeah, probably.
Do you guys eat chips with ketchup?
No.
No.
I have actually done that before, but that's only because I would get like a burger at a restaurant or some
Right.
other place, and they come with potato chips and not fries.
And you
I
would just
still-
mix it in
I
with the
still want the
ketchup.
potato dipped in the ketchup.
You want the feeling of having a fry?
Yeah, it's like fake. It's like
Yeah, we
I know this isn't the same.
it's not the same, but it's not bad. It's like the same thing, pretty
I mean,
much.
it's basically like washing your hands with toilet paper.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, Mike?
Yeah, you guys want to talk about that?
87% of BuzzFeed readers also do not eat their chips with ketchup.
Okay.
In a similar vein, ketchup on mac and cheese.
No.
No.
Gross.
Hot sauce, but not ketchup.
Yeah, not,
Gross.
not
I
ketchup.
do not do.
Gross,
I have
gross,
done
gross.
it, but I do not. do
Why
it.
have you done it?
Because I think our uncle does it all the time.
Oh.
And I heard he did it, and I was like, well, I'll give it a shot.
Which
This was,
uncle?
A long time ago. Mart.
Mark ketchup.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's funny because that's the only uncle that would have made sense to me.
And if you guys
I don't know if he still does it, but I know that it was like a thing that he did it, and like as a child, I tried it, and I was like, it's not that bad, but I didn't keep doing it.
Uncle Mark.
Ketchup on Mac Mark.
If you guys know Mark, this
Mart
tracks.
Mart with a T.
Oh yeah, if you guys know Mart.
If you know Mark, no, he would never do that.
And it's funny. His name is Roland.
Yeah, I can see it.
But he goes by Mart. Is his nickname?
Tight.
Sweet.
That'll be a story for next time.
Okay, whatever.
Sweet, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
How about this one?
He also has ketchup on his mac and cheese.
Not cool.
Cool guy.
Now this one I could actually see some of you guys doing. Do you eat your muffin upside down?
No.
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 Oh, dude. Why would you
So you just
You're just palming the bottom of a muffin.
like you flip it upside down and then you kind of like eat it from the bottom because you want to save the top because the top is.
Are you talking about just taking the top off?
No, no.
Talking about,
I mean, the image is a flipped upside down muffin. I guess in theory you could just remove the top.
The muffin comes in with a built-in like handle.
yeah.
Why would
the
you
smaller
This
bottom?
is so wacky to me because people are like, "Oh, it's so weird to eat a muffin upside down." It's like, what the fuck?
I hope nobody's looking
You can
at
flip
me.
so many foods upside down. Like that's not the only one you
I
can
eat
do.
muffins upside down. I'm not like other girls.
No, Phil, you don't know how right you are because I used to work with a bunch of crazy people who like would get cupcakes back when that was like the cupcake fad of like 2010 or whatever, you know, back then. Where
Oh, my
people would be
Lord.
like, I'm going to take the top off the cupcake and eat that and leave the bottom. You're like, I'm like, get out of here.
Here's
Eat the entire cupcake.
Here's
That's
the
a Seinfeld
version
episode.
of that I've heard is good that I haven't tried yet. But you cut the top off and then flip it over and then make like a little cupcake.
Yeah, they
pie.
were doing that too. It was insane. I was like, I can't handle this. This is too much.
That seems more reasonable to me than
Yeah.
just throwing away the bottom.
they-
It's like a cupcake sandwich. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah, I could get behind that.
I've never done it. I think Julia does it.
Here's one that's much less weird in the scheme of what we've encountered so far. Eating Frosted Flakes with a banana. Like in the cereal.
What?
I know.
Oh, that's not weird. That's actually.
I actually might try that.
Yeah, it's probably like I would do that with Cheerios.
Isn't that like in the commercials? Like they're
I mean,
like, oh, part of this
yeah.
balanced breakfast, and the banana's like falling slowly.
sounds
I feel
like
that's
it's-
not in the cereal, but
I feel like it's part of a balanced breakfast for sure.
I feel like I've done that at someone's house growing up, like after a slumber party, and like you eat their breakfast. Like we didn't do that in our household, but I feel like I have done that at someone else's house.
That's exactly where I did that too when I was a kid at my aunt's house.
no, that's nuts. You guys are very fancy with here.
Yeah, I know. I was like,
One of
"Whoa,
the greatest
gourmet."
joys of a sleepover, a known breakfast.
No, yeah,
These
that's actually
aren't my
very true.
normal breakfast
Mystery
cereals.
breakfast. Yeah.
And here's the last one. I suspect that at least one person in this room does. Not naming names.
Why did you look at me just now?
Eating Cheetos with chopsticks.
I've never eaten with chopsticks, Andrew.
No?
No.
So Kevin, we learned many episodes ago now,
Oh yeah.
has
The gloves.
that he puts on to eat buffalo wings. But don't you have the same experience with Cheetos where it gets on your fingers?
So what I do with Cheetos is I pour them
Here
into
we
a
go.
glass and then drink a few of them basically and chew them that way. So you keep your fingers clean basically.
you might want to just switch to chopsticks.
Yeah.
No, thanks.
Okay. Well,
It's too much work.
It's too laborious.
Yeah, I got a cup. I can just pour them in.
You can only do one at a time. Also,
well, weirdly enough, this seems like the one where people on BuzzFeed just didn't think it was even funny to answer that you do it because this is like the highest ratio of no. 90 to 10. 90% people say they don't eat.
They're not kidding around.
Wait, how many people eat Cheetos with chopsticks?
I actually worked with somebody at my last job who
Yeah,
did.
so did I.
Really?
Uh-huh.
So did
That
I.
is so bizarre.
Well, I mean,
It was really weird to watch for sure.
I only peel my grapes
He was
with
taking
chopsticks.
he was taking one Cheeto at a time out of the bag, and you're like, that's this. There's something very odd
That
about
feels
this.
like by the book cultural appropriation.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's a good utensil for it though. 'Cause
Yeah.
a fork or a spoon is just crazy.
yeah, it's just insane.
You know,
A fork would probably work pretty well.
A little fun spin on that. Why not use 2 pieces of Cheetos as chopsticks to eat? Your chopsticks?
That's a fun spin.
Yeah?
You like get two Cheetos, the puff version, to eat the crunchy ones.
Oh, actually, I would do the opposite, right? Because the crunchy ones are thinner, probably would make a better chopstick.
That's probably, but they're not as long.
I think before I would use chopsticks, I would just use a toothpick and like stab them and then eat them.
Do you think
But
you'd
the
be able to
crunchy ones
actually-
just split in half.
What if they broke? Yeah.
What if they
If you
broke?
do it right.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
See, what I do is I take two. What did you just say?
A toothpick.
Toothpick.
I would take a 2.
Line. I would take 2 toothpicks. Thanks, Kevin.
Yep.
And I'd put them on the ends of the Cheeto and eat it like corn.
Now we're talking.
I had so little faith that was going somewhere. and you just totally brought that home in a way that I love.
So I'm curious, space fans, do you have any food that you eat in a bizarre way? Let us know. pwspacecast@gmail.com is a place to be. You know, episode 100 coming up. We'd love to reach into the mailbag and read all of those fantastic fan mails right to our inbox. Additionally, if you want to follow us on all of our social media, we have them. Podworms Spacecast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We have a very active website where we engage with our fans, plus bonus extras and features that you can't find anywhere else. pwspacecast.com.
That's right.
And if you like this show, you have to share it with somebody in your life, whether it's a family member, a friend, an enemy.
You have to.
And there's no way you don't like it if you've listened this far.
Yeah.
You're episode 99, so you are just mooching right now.
Who's the person that's stopping now? They're like, oh,
I don't want to see it. through.
episode 100, triple digits. Nah, I don't need it.
That's where I fall off.
I gotta stop. I said I was gonna stop at 80.
Just can't quit.
I gotta really get off the train,
We're like MSG, baby.
or I gotta get off the boat from earlier.
Oh, right. Callback.
yeah. Oh, there it is.
See, that's why.
You guys stick around for more of those.
That's live, man, right there.
Yeah.
Bonus jokes. Every joke after this point is free. Like you paid for the admission, but you stayed till an hour in. These are free.
Yeah.
You know, I've never actually addressed this, but I have kind of thought about the fact where when I start doing all the social media stuff, I consider the show to be more or less done. If we get the jokes in during the social media plugs, it kind of feels like a bonus joke. Because I think a lot of people don't even finish it out to the end, but if you're still listening right now, how much extra comedy and enjoyment have you got?
Dude,
Like, this is unexpected. This is unexpected. And then even after maybe the show credits end, like the song ends, it's like the end of a Marvel movie where sometimes you have a little extra funny banter at the end. That's the extra bonus joke.
Yes.
I can imagine space fans talking to each other and be like, wait, you guys don't listen to the end? That's where the funniest content
That's
is.
where the show actually starts.
Yeah.
And if you're a true space fan, you've already listened up to this point. I have to tell you that. We love you. Thanks for sharing the show. And until episode 100, keep squirming.
Yay.
That BuzzFeed quiz reminded me of this meme I saw just a couple days ago, which was like a sad face saying finding out that Facebook quizzes will steal all your data. And then it showed the Joker dancing image and goes, finding out your sourdough bread.
I saw that meme. It was hilarious. I laughed out loud when I saw it.
And that's a bonus joke.